This year's international appeal is called For the Least of These. Jesus used those words in Matthew chapter 25. And as much as you did it to the least of these brothers and sisters, you did it for me. Two of our international workers, Karen and Spencer Daniel, they minister primarily amongst the Sri Lankan people. They're actually Melbourne-based, and they reach out both to the Sri Lankans in Melbourne, but also to people in Sri Lanka. They are workers with Praxis, and we're going to hear their inspirational story. So much of what Praxis has done is born out of prayer. Let's hear from Spencer and Karen Daniel.
Rani became a believer many years ago from a Buddhist background. She's married and she has 3 children. Her relationship with her husband is very violent. He's a violent man, he's an alcoholic. He would come home drunk, and for her, normal life would, during the week, several times being beaten. And when he's really drunk, he would put her out of the house, and in the night she would be outside while the family slept. So I asked her, what would it take for her to actually experience God in a personal way, to experience that God loves her, that Jesus is with her, and that she is speaking to a God who is personal. And so we prayed together. And one of the things we prayed for is that she will see transformation in her husband. I asked her, and she said, she wants to see her husband stop drinking. She didn't talk about the violence. She didn't talk about all of the things that she experienced at his hands. But she said she'd like to see her husband alcohol-free. Well, in this season, there's 14 days during this time where it's an annual Sri Lankan feast, and they're daily wage earners. So he didn't have work, and he's at home. So usually Rani is terrified during this time when there are holidays, because he comes home with his alcohol, and it's a drinking time during that period, and invariably violence every day for her and the children. But when he tried to drink,
he couldn't drink it, and that was a change that took place.
He was throwing up.
He was throwing up. Today, his life has transformed. He comes and asks Rani to pray for her before he goes to work, and as a family they get together. They do a discovery Bible study. So we can see lives transformed, families transformed.
And her life has changed. The whole family has changed. The daughter, the older daughter, is discipling youth, young people. So we can see this whole family has been transformed. And this is what is actually opening doors into other families, and to be able to share these life-transforming stories with other people, that then builds curiosity, People want to experience the same thing. They want to know this God. And so she has an opportunity to share.
Our target this year is $300,000. Our international workers are placed in some of the toughest environments of the world, genuinely putting their life out there for the sake of the gospel. It's not a big thing for us to demonstrate a generous spirit. So with a target of $300,000, let's help to resource those 71 workers in 25 nations. Come on, Crossway, let's be generous, dig deep, and God will bless you as you do.